Hello everyone, and welcome to the Deeply Renegade podcast. My name is Molly, also known as the Deeply Renegade, and I'd like to welcome you guys to episode 435. Today is Saturday, February 18th, 2023, and I'm glad you could join me today. This episode may be interrupted, because we're already an hour into the baby nap, because it took longer than planned to finish flying that bit of yarn. It needed to happen. Slightly chaotic, but we got it done. And then other than that, it's been a pretty chill 2 weeks. What would it be? I have to. The challenge, of course, is what would it be? There's been a lot of spouse travel, and so that just sort of takes all of the mental energy way down because you can't baby toss. You're like, okay, this is too much. I need help. But I don't know. Such is life. Not too much I can do about that. The in-laws are coming soon. Hilariously, while my spouse is out of town. But the main event, Mr. Daniel, is still available. So it's still worth a visit, even if their son is gone, because their grandson is here. And it'll be lovely to have a couple more adults around in this time. So, what would it be? I think my spouse was secretly hoping that he would get lots of projects done. So that is the story there, is that there may not have been as much crafting time. But also having 2 weeks between episodes is long enough that I forget what I talked about last week and if it's all that different. I'm trying to think. It's fine. So the dealio is, what I am working on right now is my experimental sock yarn socks. So this is a cable yarn I made with Into the World Falkland in the Tinkerbell's Unmentionables colorway. And I am currently in a very blue and purple section of the yarn, but my finished sock is pretty yellow. So I don't know, did I have this sock finished? I'm doing things a little bit differently this time, because it was sort of a beefy yarn. I'm knitting it on zeros, but I did a 64 stitch sock. So it may just mean that these socks are tighter than what I have been making recently. And then they have like a little bit of the texture pattern from the Simple Skip pattern. So that is Adrienne Coe wrote that pattern. It's free on the internet. So it just gives it like a little, like the yarn, since it's a fractal cable, the yarn is pretty busy. And then even within that, there's just like every ply is a different color. So this has like yellow, purple, blue, and teal in it. And where I am right now is just the blue heavy portion that was like the toe. So I think I Kitchenered the toe on the bus sometime. Yeah. It's fine, whatever. And what did we? I think I even cast on the second sock. But yeah, no, it's been a little bit chaotic lately. The chaos will continue for at least a little bit longer. So that is the story there. In terms of other things that have happened, I still haven't touched the cobweb shawl. What would it be? But I am feeling like I should give another attempt of figuring out the math, or at the very least just to you know what, even a reasonable approximation would be better than nothing. And the thought process there would be, oh, I'm just... I was going off of what the stitches were, and the stitches were wrong. So even if I just have a reasonable approximation, that can tell me if I need to rip back part of that shawl, which would be a little bit heartbreaking, but not the end of the world. I don't know whether or not it would run like a bad pair of nylons. It's a distinct possibility. Wow, we're just gonna put this sock down because I don't know what just happened there, but it got my sock got weird. I know exactly where it got weird, but so whatever. I just need to get a reasonable approximation so I know if I'm past the point where I would run out of yarn or before the point I would run out of yarn, and like roughly how many more beads I need. And maybe it doesn't need to be super duper precise. If I look at where I am right now and I see like we're within the ballpark, then it's fine. So not too crazy there, but just I do give some of my knitting friends a lot of crap for having long languishing whips and many whips, and so I should probably finish it. So the other thing that's going on is that I'm doing a repair on these. So these are fingerless mitts that I made with fiber optic cashmere, which is a merino cashmere silk light fingering. I'm knitting them on 00s. And this is, I think, the second time that I've repaired them. Because as gentle and, like, my spouse adores these. He's, like, very, like, he is in his mind very careful with it. He tries not to do stupid stuff with them. But apparently it still does, because he's managed to pop the bind off on most of the fingers on both of the mitts. Everything else appears to be fine. There might be a hole floating around here somewhere that I also need to. That might be on the other one. So I fixed one finger, it looks like. I still need to do the thumb. I'm working on this finger, right? Did I also get the... Yeah. So I'm working on the second of 3 on this mitt, and then I have a couple on the other one. He asked before his last international trip if I could fix it before he left, and it's already been, like, what would it be? There just wasn't any possible way. Like, he has the original mitts I made him out of Wollmeise, and so I think he wore those on his trip, because those seem to be a little bit more hardy, but he loves these because they're so soft and warm. And honestly, in terms of wear, like, even though this is a cashmere blend, like, no pills, but the cast off breaking is a little obnoxious. But what can we do? So, like, overall, like, pretty happy with the yarn. Maybe this was the wrong project for the yarn. And then also, I think when I whack, oh, here's the hole. yeah, that's gonna be, that might even be where I reinforced it and it just sort of came apart again, it appears. Yeah, I'm really unsure about what it is that he does to it. But he has realized he's a filthy, disgusting person when you see the fresh new yarn. And what a different color the fresh new yarn. Yeah, you can maybe sort of see. So it's on this finger is the one that I've fixed so far. But yeah. It looks like it actually popped my fix. Interestingly enough, but whatever. We'll get it worked out. So, this is also taking some time. I'm not working on it super duper hard, but I am gently working on it. And like for a cashmere base, it's held up really, really well. In terms of like the pilling aspect of it, but the breaking aspect, not so great. And possibly it's like metal, it's possibly like metal shards. Like it's possible he's cutting it, because yeah, it's weird. Luckily, it's the plain color sections, not the colorwork sections, so I don't know if that helps or not. So that's taking some time. I have a very sad pile of yarn from basically once you get the pop, like sometimes it even pops like two, so you have to rip back a couple of rows of the ribbing before you can get to clean yarn that you can then build off of to just reknit a couple of rows and cast off. So that's what's happening. And I was definitely thinking in passing last week, like, oh my gosh, I really want to knit a sweater right now. But I need to finish knitting my swatch so that I can do that. As you do. So, I am still working on the Camellia Fiber Company, so this is an organic linen, or it is organic wool and organic linen, 70-30 blend, that I'm swatching a Poet. I am pretty close to finishing the ample section I did for the ample swatch that I've done with the US 3s. I'm going to switch to 3mm needles and see if I like the fabric a little bit more with the 3mm, and go from there. Like overall, I think the lace does look pretty good with the 3mm needles, but the stockinette isn't up to my isn't up to my standards, I would say. So as a result, me, the entity known as the Deepbluerenegade, just need to finish this. So, and whatever, this is my choice that I decided to make such a gargantuan swatch. I think I cast on some leg of my Asia trip last month, and it just hasn't gotten a whole heck of a lot of attention since, so that's fine. would it be? I think part of the challenge is that I probably, like, well, what would it be? It doesn't seem like quite the right time for like the pattern printout. Because until I sort of finish the swatching stage, like they have whatever, this is Sorry Nordland pattern, I believe. So there are really big beefy charts because of the raglan aspect of it. So what that means is that I'd rather wait to print the chart until I'm closer. And I definitely didn't do that row correctly. Whatever. We can fix it on this side. Yeah. Basically, I wasn't supposed to print that far. Or, because you have like alternating sections of lost stitch, so. Stockinette fabric, meh. The lace looks pretty good. This is almost a full chart repeat. Like I might have one more row to sort of close off. Or this might be the last row too. It's a distinct possibility. But like overall, I think the lace does look pretty good on this. Could it be like a little bit nicer if it was a little tighter? Maybe. And then haven't made a choice if I want to modify the sweater shape or not. On one hand, or would it be, because it was the case where I was selecting a larger size than I usually would, because the sample that I tried on wasn't in my size, but looked amazing, despite the raglan. So I think I just need to relax. It was like, I think I'm just less happy when I have like tight fitting or whatever, like very fitted raglan. But it does seem like the pattern would be pretty easy to modify so that you could just have the drop shoulder. And maybe that would be like an orientation change. I'm not sure. It could be very exciting. So I don't know whether or not I feel like doing the modification or whatever, taking the blueprint of Donner and putting the chart on it and calling it a day. I'm not sure. Or some, yeah. I probably wouldn't take the blueprint of Weekender, but effectively speaking, they're pretty similar. It's probably not, or would it be? You could probably take what's going on in Boxy or Donner and then make it happen. And actually, that does actually sound sort of cool too, though. Would it be hybridize V-neck boxy and poet? Could be something. But definitely not as big round as Foxy is, for sure. So, and I definitely like don't have the, or since I don't even have the mental bandwidth lately to to finish my shawl spreadsheet. It was like, so the other thing going on, I was just debating what I wanted to do. I think I'll just show you first and then we can go from there. I did finish a sample, so what you're seeing here is the 3-ply yarn of the Tussa bamboo silk, the merino silk, and the South American tweed. And so you can definitely see the tweedy bits for sure. And then I have some chain ply of the Targi Tussa bamboo, which did turn out very lovely. Because I ended up spinning this thinner, which probably isn't a surprise. So, not too crazy there. So basically what it boils down to is I've finished another sample. I only have 1.5 ounces left to go until, and this is going to be a very meta picture because I just took a picture of the thing during podcasting. Because I just have 3 samples left, which is exciting for sure. It's been long enough. I don't even remember what's in the bag anymore. So this is buoy. This has linen in it, and I don't know what this is anymore. The key may be lying around here somewhere, but I will need to clean up the room soon. In preparation for the in-laws coming. Maybe also all of the sock mending that has manifested on the desk will need to be dealt with too. So I was planning on taking those guys, which when they're spun up look like this, and making a neutral marl with them, just so that I'm done. And then I will be done spinning all my little samples. And so would it be? So it'd be the case where I have 4 of these, which are single. It is the sample chain plied upon itself. And then I'm going to have, then I've already finished. This one is a double. It is the camel and the superfine merino mulberry 2-plied. And so fluffy. And then we have this one, which is a 3-ply of the tweed, the Tussa bamboo silk, and the merino Tussa, I think. It's good. So I'll have 2 3-plies, a 2-ply, and then 4 chain plies at the end. Does that add up? I think so. So a couple of these samples are just gonna, because they're just ½ ounce. They're just cute little ½ ouncers. Could they be all used in the same project together? Probably not. But they're all very charming. But this project, I've been working on this project since July, but it's nice whenever I have a spurt forward progress on it. That's pleasant. And then I have this bag of yarn. but not a lot of action. So, because I was thinking, so it is the case where I brought it with me on a couple of trips in case I felt like casting on. But what would it be? I've now, we'll see what happens. Because I have like my one active project. I have my UFO, I have my swatch going, so it's probably fine. So the other thing that is on my mind is, so not next week, but the week after is Stitches West. So I'm debating if I want to do like a day trip, but then I'm also cognizant that I haven't been doing a lot of knitting lately. And I definitely still have or would it be like I am still working on projects I started like months and months ago, so that is fair. So what I have here is a long-delayed Christmas treat. So what it boils down to was my San Francisco knitting group. One of the members came into some stash yarn from Fancy Knitter, and they dispersed the yarn during the Christmas party that I had to miss because I was sick, which is sad. But they saved some for me that were to my taste. So I have this really old school Western Sky knit skein, and so this is 2 ounces of probably Aran to bulky 2-ply. It's the Sistari Superfine Merino, so, and whatever. Then we have this mystery hand-dye skein, which does look pleasant. It looks like a Luette Gems base. And then we have this Vita Lana, and so this one is an 80-20, what would it be? It's wool nylon blend, so this is like apparently like a knit crate guy. And so it's like a mid-90, at that ambiguous place between dark purple and navy blue, mostly purple. So I don't know. So these were the skeins that finally made my way. I forgot to talk about them closer to the time I received them. So, but that's the conundrum, right? Is that like when I go to a festival, I tend to spend the same amount of money. So, what would it be? Unless I'm just saying, whatever, pay the market fee, whatever, and then, whatever, limit myself to accessories only, or if this is a fun outing that ends up happening, or would it be a fun outing that ends up happening, while my in-laws are in town because my mother-in-law is a knitter. I don't know. Decisions. So, what would it be? We will see what comes out of it. But what would it be? I do appreciate that what would it be? There wasn't anything explicitly Molly Blue in the collection, but whatever. So that is a story there. It's whatever. It feels slightly unbalanced. And we have to understand that, right? So we have to know when things are, what would it be, a bit out of whack. So, like, it just sort of depends on how things shake out. Would it be? And then maybe it's not even feasible because my mother-in-law is still recovering from knee surgery, so we shall see. Let's see. I think I've talked about all of the projects. The podcast was not interrupted by the baby waking up. DBN is having a nice, lovely, lovely nap. And further adventures today will include toilet paper. And figuring out how exactly I want to cook the chicken. I'm thinking about doing something with like a yogurt marinade, so I'll have to look up a recipe. Or that sounds festive right now, and that's what we have, right? That's where we're at. And then an exciting couple of days of just ordering some food. Because as much as I enjoy making delicious food, I also just enjoy eating delicious food, which is why I make it. So, would it be? So, and then because of the timing of Stitch's West, we'll see what happens about, we'll see about the recording schedule if it ends up getting pushed out a little bit more, because February is like practically over now. There's just 10 days left. Would be the easiest month because of its 4-week time period. I know, and then next year will be a leap year, not this year. So, that is the story there. What do we? I think I have a clear plan on what's going on my wheel next. I have a clear plan for what direction my swatch is going. Socks are fine, and maybe I'll finally figure out what in the world happened with my with my shawl. But maybe after it's dark. I don't know. I feel like I don't want to do math after it's dark. So, that is the story there. I hope you guys all have a lovely week, and I look forward to talking to you soon. So, take care, guys. Bye-bye.